both do it.
Ready?
So where do I look? I look at you?
You
or
just look right at me.
Okay.
Just ignore the camera. We're just having a conversation.
Okay, good.
Okay, Joe. Can you just say and spell your first and last name just so we got it?
Joe Ripp, R-I-P-P.
Okay, great. And Papa Chuck is your dad?
That's right.
Are you the oldest?
No, Marie's the oldest.
Marie's the oldest.
Oldest
Okay.
boy.
Because it's how many daughters, how many sons?
2 daughters and 4 sons.
2 daughters, 4 sons. Okay, great. So Joe, you were the other star of the viral video of the wheelchair escapades,
Yes.
escapades.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So really, Paul, my youngest brother, he's the one that orchestrated this and said, let's take Dad ice skating in a wheelchair. And I first thought that might be a little too much. And he's like, no, let's do it. Dad loves the outdoors. Let's bundle him up and let's go. So we walked him out on the ice and put him in the wheelchair. And Paul, his son Leo, and me just went ice skating for about an hour. And one time they had that time they also had someone else with a wheelchair there as well. So Dad wasn't the only one. So yeah.
There was another older person in a wheelchair.
She wasn't old. There was some distance.
Somebody else was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And this was in Lake Forest?
Lake Forest Park District. So I got to do a shout out to Lake Forest.
West Park.
West Park has this big open area of ice. They just, water it down. And so Paul found it. And so we've been there probably 4 or 5 times and just, it's a mile or 2 down the road and we take them out there.
Were you nervous at all? Because any
little
quick
bit.
move.
A little bit. But once we got on, it was like, oh, wheelchair actually makes us more stable. So it was actually easier pushing Dad around than ice skating by yourself.
You said the one video clip was a few weeks ago, but you've gone on several times since.
Yes.
Do more and more people see you and think this is wild?
Yeah, they just kind of give us a look and they clap or they smile or, they're like, oh, wow, that's great. Way to go.
Talk to us, you had told me on the phone that your dad taught you guys to skate at a younger age.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, memories of skating with your dad.
Well, I really remember it as an adult. They had a place in Wonder Lake, and so anytime it was frozen, we would go out there and ice skate in Wonder Lake. So that was one of the more recent memories I have of that. We just I would take my girls out ice skating and stuff. So that's why we just thought Dad loves the outdoors, so let's go take him. And Dad never let ailments stop him from doing things. He's got 2 knee surgeries. He was boogie boarding in New Smyrna Beach at 80. So he just always said, let's go. So
91 years today,
Yeah.
long, healthy, clearly active lifestyle.
yes.
Gets away to Florida every winter to kind of, be able to still be outdoors. What's your one big takeaway? 91 years for your dad today. What's the
So
one
I would
thing
say
that you want to
Dad
say?
is the kindest man in the world.
Hold on, can we stop for 1 second just because the valve is, are you picking that up a lot, Pat?
I don't think so. It's okay.
Got 12 of them coming. It's 12 o'clock.
When they were doing this one, I had a bit of a scare because they were pushing me, and in the wheelchair, and they pushed me, sliding on the ice, and hit a chunk of ice, and the wheelchair went like this, and then went back.
It did a little, it was moving on its side a little bit.
Racking chair.
It almost went bump.
We were starting to say before the bells went, 91 years for your dad today. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so Dad is the kindest man in the world. He is so amazing. He loves his wife. He's gets her everything all the time. His favorite thing is to get her a cup of tea. I'd also say both of them were always, they always showed up for people. They showed up for family, they showed up for friends, and anytime there was a need, they did it. So I would say mom and dad, they show up for people. And in fact, when we were, I don't know, 10 or 11, one of our neighbors didn't have a TV, and we only had one TV, and they said, well, they need a TV. So they took our TV, the one TV we had, and they gave it to their friends because they needed it. So that's how they are. They are giving, and they show up.
Wow, selfless. Yeah, generous.
I bet you that was a pretty popular decision amongst.
Yeah, my younger brother, Paul was probably 5 or 6. He was not a happy camper with that decision.
How many people, talk to me about the celebration tonight. What's gonna happen tonight?
Marie's kids are gonna be here, and they're gonna open presents and have cake and probably sing songs, So.
And some music for Dad to dance?
Yes, definitely.
Joe, you mentioned briefly that a group of you guys went to a Hawks game recently.
Yes.
How was that?
It was a blast, Dad. It was this 3 inches of snow. Daniel had to drive Dad from here into the city. It took him 2 hours to get there, and we had one of those skyboxes. And the Blackhawks did not play well, but they won that game. And so Dad and I, like I said, Shannon and Julia were with me, and Daniel, and we just had a blast. And when they score a goal, they do all that, dance and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And I'd also say, you were talking about 91, at his 90th birthday party, we were in New Smyrna last year at this time, and all 13 grandkids were there, and all brothers, sisters, in-laws, everybody showed up. There was 24, 25 people, all drove in, flew in. One granddaughter from South Africa, Fiona flew in. She was doing a study abroad, she came in, so everybody showed up for them.
Talk to me about the importance of family. I mean, this whole thing went viral. You've got the wheelchair, and it's funny and it's wild and all that, but the story behind it, it's family. Talk to me about the importance of that.
Yeah, they're just they have always, took care of us. They do everything for those grandkids. They would fly to Boston and go see Lucy's recital or somebody's baptism. They always would show up to their grandkids. So their grandkids think the world of these guys. So they really transferred family to us and also the next generation. So
91 years. What is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say that?
yeah, I think Dad, you're full of joy, and you just you just put that out there all the time, and all the grandkids just think the world of him, and and all the traditions that you have given us, and that now the grandkids now take on those traditions. So yeah. Oh, and then he's been in the choir for many years. So he was in the choir when we were kids, and he's still in the choir today at 91. He's at the church choir, so that's something that he.
What church?
St. Joseph.
St. Joe's.
Where's that?
That's in
Libertyville.
Libertyville,
Yeah.
St. Joe's. Did you go to a parish in Oak Park?
Yeah, St. Giles Community Mass.
Ah,
Yes.
Father Ed Salmon is my dad's cousin.
Oh.
So senior priest there. So also active too, singing, huh?
Pardon?
Singing. You
Oh,
love
yeah,
to sing? Sing and dance.
In fact, now here, and it's Christmas time, and he said, Joe said, well, I joined the choir here, and I wondered if you'd want to go along with me. And I said, oh yeah. So now we're going to choir practice every week to get ready for
Sunday.
Here, that's what's going on there, right here.
Yeah, that's
And
wonderful.
I'd say that the last thing I'd say, Dad is always up for something. Like, he always says yes. You know, like 2 or 3 years ago, I said, Dad, you want to go to a Notre Dame game? And my siblings are like, I don't know if that's something you should do, Joe. And sure, he comes. Like, that was probably 3 years ago. We carted him out to a Notre Dame game. He'll just, you know, and then the ice skating thing, my daughter Shannon said, hey, Dad, do you think Papa Chuck actually likes it? Because you and Paul look like you're having a blast, but is Papa Chuck having a good time? Because she knows that Papa Chuck says yes to everything. But I think you did like it, right? Tell Shannon that you do enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was his first reaction when you said we're gonna go ice skating in a wheelchair? What was his, did he say yes right away?
We didn't tell him until we got there. So we kind of had to sneak him out of here, and we were telling Marie we were doing an errand, and so we didn't want to get injured, you know, so we wanted to wait until everything was cleared before we told everybody here that we went. So I think his response when we got to the ice skating, he's like, oh, okay, let's go. So he's always up for it. Yeah.
I love it, I love it. Anything else, Pat, would you, no?
If you got hurt, what were you gonna say?
I wouldn't tell anybody. So, if he got hurt, that would be a problem. But if Paul or I got hurt, we wouldn't tell anybody.
You sure you don't have to move, but are you sure you
Do
don't
you
want
wanna say anything, Marie? Do you wanna say?
On camera?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, we would mic you up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
get our mic'd up, say a few things.
Should I go over my?
Nope, you can just